There are two paths you can take. The modern music consumer that goes to festivals and clubs who idolizes these rappers and artists like they're gods. Or the classical music aficionado that utilizes specific frequencies as a tool for the ascension of his mind and spirit. It's funny, when I was making this video and when I was jotting down ideas on my computer, I was listening to Skyrim ambient music. And if you know anything about Skyrim, the music that plays when you're not fighting a dragon or fighting a bandit or like some sort of frost troll, if you guys didn't know, I used to be a pretty heavy gamer. It's the music that plays when you're just doing your own thing, looking at the mountains and trees. And I couldn't help but notice how calm and how creative I felt in that moment when I was writing down ideas. And it really occurred to me that music is an extremely powerful tool, and music can either ruin your life or it can vastly improve your life depending on your intention with it. And I think it's scary knowing about the normalcy of degenerate music and the idolization of these, false idols, these rappers, these artists that basically talk about fucking your girlfriend and shooting people up. That's like a normal thing that people listen to in their life. Like every single day they'll listen to this audio of this guy telling them how much better they are than the person listening. And so this is just this mass program of the unconscious where music is being used to vastly manipulate the youth into violent tendencies, into more hedonism and just more degeneracy basically. And there are two parts to this. One of those parts is the frequency of the music, the frequency behind the music that's being played, and also the intention behind the music. And so I just want you to pause right here and just listen to these two tones that I'm about to play to you, and just feel in your body which one feels and resonates the most with you, which one feels better. I can guarantee that it was most likely the first one. And the reason for this is because the first one is played at a harmonious frequency, which is 432 hertz. And the second one is played at a frequency of 440 hertz. What do I mean when I say 432 and 440? What are the differences here? Well, you got to understand that back in Nazi Germany, they were doing a lot of tests and they were doing a lot of experiments on humans. And in one of these experiments, they were testing out how sound frequency affected the human psyche. And they found that 440 hertz was a very unnatural tone that didn't have any healing properties to it. And when they played it to certain people, they became more agitated and they became more angry. And so this has actually been standardized across all music and all audio nowadays. All of the music you listen to on Spotify, all of the music that you just listen to online is all played at 440 hertz. This probably explains why sometimes when I've been driving in my car, I've gotten in my car and it's been very peaceful and I've felt very calm. But then as soon as I turn on that music, I start to just get a little bit thrown off and I feel a little bit agitated. You might be able to relate to this as well. And the second part to this is the intention behind the music. When you hear the lyrics of all of these degenerate rap songs that you hear today, that all of the main headliners at festivals play and all of the artists, they make these songs, right? And the lyrics, when you actually listen to what the lyrics are saying, you realize that it is extremely negative and it's all about the ego. It's all about conquering other people and conquering females and take. And it's when you're listening to this all day, when you're listening to these rappers like Travis Scott, Lil Uzi Vert, all of these degenerate fucking shit rappers that people like convince themselves that they actually like their music. They're listening to this music and they're listening to these lyrics, and they're unconsciously embodying what these lyrics are telling them. And so you got to understand is you have an unconscious mind, and the role of this unconscious mind is to take on information that you can consciously perceive. And when you listen consciously to a rap song that's talking about going and stabbing someone or going and fucking on some other guy's bitch, when you're listening to this, you're unconsciously absorbing this information. And the more you listen to it, the more it's reprogramming your unconscious behaviors. I cannot stress how important it is to control what you're listening to on a day to day. And I just want to share a little story with you. You're probably similar to me in the fact that when you go outside, you just want to listen to nature. You just want to listen to, what the birds are singing and what the wind in the trees. You just want to listen to this because that's the reason you go outside. I went camping quite a few times back quite a while ago, and I was setting up in my little campsite and, very peaceful. It was a public campsite. And I noticed that a group of people turned up right next to me. And what do they do as soon as they get to this very peaceful and tranquil area? They pull out their Yui Boom, their fucking speaker, and they start playing hip hop and they start playing rap music. And I'm sitting there and I almost can't believe that people do this. I'm like, how fucking brain dead do you have to be to go out into the wilderness, to go relax, and the first thing that you do is get a speaker and play something talking about how you are a shit cunt, how you are worthless. Bro, people really aren't aware of this, and this is the reason why I'm making this video, and this is the reason why I'm so passionate about it. Just to make you sort of understand this point more, I want you to watch this clip of, I think it's Travis Scott at a concert, and he is up on stage. I just want you to observe the reactions of everyone looking up to him. He earns hundreds of millions of dollars being worshipped by degenerate individuals that have to scrape up enough funds just to be in his presence. Do you really want to be that person that is not earning as much money as he is, but you're like struggling to get money for a ticket to go see this person that doesn't even give a shit about you, that is satanic in nature, and that, oh man, it's just so wild to me. Now that I have hopefully expanded your awareness on the importance of focusing on what music you are absorbing into your mind and into your soul, I want to address the importance of, you don't have to get rid of music completely. I'm not saying this. I'm simply expanding your awareness on the music you're currently listening to. If you currently listen to any of the mainstream poison that is poisoning you, lowering your testosterone, making you feel like shit, influencing your unconscious mind in a negative way, I'm simply suggesting the idea of switching from rap music, unconscious bullshit music, to something that is just specifically instrumental and doesn't have any words. And so I just want to give you a bit of background. I am actually a music producer. I produce a lot of house music and a lot of, I guess you could call it lo-fi house. And I have a couple of songs out. You can go down to my SoundCloud and take a listen to them. I've always been into electronic music. I've always been into like Deadmau5 and a lot of, Skrillex when I was young. And I used to kind of geek out about these things. And the more I grow older and the more I understand how to influence your unconscious mind and just about, your, not just your diet, not just your food, but also your ears and your mental diet, the more I gravitate towards stuff like the Skyrim ambience and literally just listening to the wind and listening to nature, because it gives me that sense of peace that I've always been looking for. Instead of filling the silence with all of this shit that most people, they can't even just sit with their own thoughts, so they have to fill the silence with some gangster rap. And so you probably noticed that behind my videos, I play like a really ambient sort of frequency. And I actually tune these frequencies to 432 hertz. So you know that when you watch my videos, you're actually going to feel good because you're being exposed to a harmonious frequency that is rejuvenating your cells and actually, not cucking yourself with the frequency or the intention, because remember, intention and frequency is everything. And so this is pretty much my goal with Musaeus. Musaeus is that version. He's the Adonis. He's that version of the ideal man that is creative in nature and is a master muse of his own life. And so, if I haven't introduced myself, but my name is Joel. I run this channel. And yeah, if you like my videos and you want to follow a somewhat unconventional YouTuber that is esoteric in nature, that gives you the raw and blunt information that you've always been looking for, then go down right now and hit the subscribe button. I'll be uploading a lot more videos on this, as well as fitness, diet, goal setting, manifestation, and just the overall holistic self-improvement side of things. So thank you for watching, brother. I appreciate your time, and I'll see you on the next one.